Stop recording button. Double tap to activate.
It's Finish It Friday. I'm stitching it my way. Just wanna be sitting with needles and knitting. Hello, hello, my yarn lovers, my crafty and creative people. Come on in, let's have a little visit. Yeah, you know what Finish It Friday is? Yeah, that's just show and tell, right? Where I show you what I finished up this week, and because I am visually impaired and I do my best to make the internet accessible to other visually impaired people, I'm going to use my words and describe my project to you. So this week we got two FOs to talk about. Yeah, we do, in the same color and everything. So, if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for choosing to come back, hang out, and spend a little bit of your day with me. And if you're and I also want to thank you for your patience while I briefly introduce myself to anybody who might be new, right? Who just was scrolling the YouTubes and came across one of my videos for the first time. Hi, my name's May. I love yarn. I love to knit and crochet. Those are my hobbies. And yes, I am visually impaired. I was born this way. I have experienced deteriorating eyesight. I am completely colorblind. I've never seen a color a day in my life. I am light sensitive. That's why I tend to record a lot of my videos in a darker room. But right now, we still got a little sunlight. All right. So, come on in. Say hello, get your beverage, let's sit down. What are you all drinking now? It is June. I live in Washington State in the United States. We're coming up into summertime. It's getting warm here. We've had a heat advisory this week. Yeah, woo! Yikes! It's June already. It's a little early for us for that kind of heat. But that's okay. I'm drinking my strawberry crystal light. So let me know, is it warm where you're at? You got a heat advisory. I really hope everybody's staying hydrated. Drink your beverages, drink your water, drink your electrolyte supplements, whatever. Stay cool. I hope everyone's taking care of themselves. All right. Well, let me know where you're from and what you're working on, what it is that we do together. If you're not a crafter, that's totally okay. Everybody's welcome here. But of course, if you are a crafter, let me know what we do. Do you embroidery? Do you do quilting? Do you sew, cross stitch, knitting, crochet? You could say, hi, I'm from Florida and I'm crocheting a sun hat. And I will say, what? What a coincidence! That's one of my FOs, my finished objects for this week. Yeah. Both of these projects are, I did one knit and one crochet. In the knitpicks, we crochet Shine Sport in the color Pageant. Here it is. Here's the label if you want to look at that. Now, this is not a full-on yarn review of this yarn, but I will say I really, really like this yarn. It is 60% Pima cotton and 40% modal beechwood fiber. Now, this yarn is so soft. I actually think that I always think it's bamboo when I touch it. It's really got this sleek, silky feeling, and yet when you wear it, it's like soft, right? It's next to your skin yarn, but at the same time, you almost feel like it's silk, but it's machine wash and dry. It's easy care. The more I work with this yarn, it's not rough on your hands at all to work with. It's so fun to work with. The more I work with it, the more I like it. So, this first project is crocheted. I did not design. I designed the tank top. You've seen it on my channel on a, I think a Whip Wednesday video. You've seen the tank top. The hat that I did design, I did not design the hat myself. I'm going to show you the hat pattern so you can look for it yourself. And I will do my best to link it up in the description box. It is by My Busy Figures. It is cotton thread sun hat. I did not design this pattern myself, but it is free on the internet, and because it's a number 2 sport weight yarn. Now, Shine Sport is a thick sport weight yarn. I'd almost call it a DK, but she did use a E crochet hook, a 3.5 millimeter hook, so that's really challenging for me, right? I struggle to work with hooks that small. The hat itself is not complicated, but it is mostly single crochets with a 3.5 millimeter hook on a size 2 yarn. So for me, this was time consuming. It was like, it was like knitting a fingering weight hat, or a larger project. Normally a crochet hat might take me 1 or 2 days to work up. This one did take a few days because of the single crochets and the small hook. But it's really a beautiful pattern. It's really a fun pattern. I like it so much. I almost want to make myself one again in white, but it does take a lot of time. So I'm not sure that I will have the time to do that right now. But this is mine. I think I did a pretty good job. I'm not great at following patterns, and there definitely was a point where I stopped following the pattern for a little bit, but I like it overall. It's one of these start in the center magic ring type things, and then you work out, and you have, it's like a flower on top, and you have these 8 petals that come out. When you're first working on it, you're like, are you sure this is supposed to be a flower? I had those moments. I'm like, are you sure I'm doing this right? And I really had to second guess myself and figure, am I doing this right? But I just kept following the directions, and it really does work out. I think that flower is so, so cute. I was impressed with her instructions and her design. She did a great job of writing this out for people. I may have gotten it slightly off, just a little bit. I do knit and crochet by feel, and I'm just going to be honest with you. Finding the stitches on a 3.5 millimeter hook, they're small stitches, and I sometimes think that I missed some stitches in here, so I did get my stitch count off in a couple of places. Overall, I don't think it matters too much. There's a few places where I think people could find where my stitch count's a little bit off, but it's not the pattern. She's written out a very nice pattern. It's very, very easy to follow. It's good directions. So I would recommend it if you have the patience for working, crocheting, single crochet on a 3.5 millimeter hook. I would recommend it if you love fun sun hats. I would definitely recommend this pattern. Just know it does take some patience, okay? But look at that. That's pretty cute. You got these little loops on the edges, these little chain loops. Well done to her. And I made it, of course. I made that to match the tank top that I designed. I do love this tank top. You'll probably see me wearing it later on the channel. I worked this from the bottom up. We did some garter stitch, and then I got these vertical lace columns. We got some more garter stitch and some stockinette stitch on the bodice. We switched up to that, and then we did some increases for the bust. Now, if you know, I just kind of design on the fly, do my own thing. I'm not too much for gauge swatching. Probably this purple does not match my red shorts, but oh well, right? We're just gonna wear it anyways. So I don't do gauge swatching because I can't really see my stitches to count them, right? The point of doing a gauge swatch is so you can measure it, and then you can count how many stitches you have per inch. Well, I can't see my stitches, and they're really difficult for me to feel each individual stitch per inch. So I tend to not do gauge swatches, but I have learned the hard way, especially with knitting, especially with lace knitting, that if I want to make sure that my pattern's going to come out okay, to sort of stop and do a practice swatch of just maybe like a more complicated lace area. So I did actually do that with this lace at the center of the bust. I did do a little lace kind of inset little panel in here, and I really, really like it. It's almost like flowers or butterflies or something. I'm not even sure what, but I think it turned out super, super cute. We got that, and you got these little eyelets going up each side. And then on the straps, I did, well, to do the neckline, I did my bind off, and I've talked about it before, but I have a really bad habit of not jumping up my needle size, getting my bind offs too tight. I did jump up my needle size by a few sizes, and I still think I did the knit 1 and then knit 2 together through the back loop to get it stretchy enough to fit comfortably, right, to not be too tight. So what I did is I started my bind off, and then when I got to the straps that I wanted, right, I marked off the stitches with stitch markers that I wanted for my straps. I went ahead and knit those stitches onto a stitch holder, right, and then knit across to the next section of straps, knit those onto a stitch holder, and worked all the way around, did the same thing in the back, so that I had 4 sections of stitches left for the straps. And then I did vine lace. If you're on my channel, you just know I love the vine lace pattern. I think it's beautiful in straps. So I just worked each front side and the back side. And then just, that's the beauty of working stuff like this, is that you just try it on. That's really how I knit. I don't really follow size, suggestions too well in patterns, because the majority of times when I follow their suggestions, they're still too big, and I have to rip out the project and then go back and start it again and again and again. So I tend to just kind of do my own thing with sizing. I tend to just cast on or chain up or whatever.
Shane Bond, the Pentecostal lie exposed. The church was not born on the day of Pentecost.
Try out, and then try out. If you don't know yet, I am visually impaired, and I do use a screen reader. And so my phone just kind of talks and it reads, it just like randomly reads things out in the background. I'm not even sure what it's talking about. I didn't hear what it's talking about, but it just, reads out anything from the weather to news headlines to product recalls. And it's on silent right now, but it still thinks that there are things that I need to know about. So anyways, I work each side of the strap from the top, from the bottom up to the center. So I just try it on as I go, right? I do that with my skirts. I do that with tops. I do that with dresses. So, I don't really have written patterns for people. And I know, people probably like that from me in the future, to write patterns. But I make my designs to fit me, okay? And so I don't even do measurements. I just cast on or I chain till it fits me. And then I just go with that, okay? And so I don't really know if I could write patterns in the future for people or not, beyond just say these are made to fit, right? And besides, we're all different, right? Some people have really different bodies. And so, even me at different times in my life, when I've been more fit, spent more time in the gym, right, I weighed 130 pounds, and then I weighed 130 pounds at other times, and it's very different, because sometimes when I'm working out, it's muscle, right? Other times it's 130 pounds, it's not so muscle. So, bodies are different. So, I just work my patterns till how they fit me, and I don't worry about sizing and size charts. So basically, that's what I do with these tops, with my skirts, and I highly recommend that if you want to make clothing and wearables and garments, you make them to fit you, right? And don't worry about everybody else's sizes, right? And charts and who says you're a what and you're this and you're that. Just cast on or just chain up some stitches and do it till it fits you. So I just worked each side up to about the center to the shoulder, and then made a match at the center of the shoulder, and then just did my 3 needle bind off. So I am loving this tank top. I've had it on. This is a wear next to your skin kind of yarn. It is not itchy. It is silky smooth. It feels good. It's breathable. It's lightweight. I would definitely recommend this yarn for tank tops, for skirts, halter tops, dresses, all kinds of wearables. In the summertime, I think this would be a great yarn. So yeah, who knows if I'll ever be able to write up a pattern or do a tutorial for this or not. I can tell you I did no shaping at all in the waist, because the yarn's got stretch to it. Plus it's lace, and so the lace has got quite a bit of stretch to it too. So if I ever did something like this, I probably would just tell you, make it to how it fits for you. Put on the number of stitches and the multiple that works closest for you. And I didn't do any shaping until I got into the bust area, right? And that is when I did need to increase and add more stitches to accommodate my bust. And I just did that by doing, you know, increases on each side of the front and the back. And of course, if you need more, you know, you can put some short rows in sooner, or you could add your increases in multiple places across the front. So there's all kinds of ways that you can customize your garments for you. I just say, just play, right? Just have fun with your yarn and your needles and your hooks, and just create your own designs and creations. That's what I love to do. Alrighty, well, those are the FOs for today. I will do what I can to link up this hat so you too can make a fun cotton thread sun hat to wear. Anyways, I hope that
Llama Mama
you
Kayla,
all,
Pina gets a new body and shoes.
I hope that you all have a great weekend with whatever you're doing. Feel free to let me know what your weekend plans are. Are you doing laundry? Are you sleeping in? Are you working out? Are you going for a hike? Are you going to the beach? Are you doing graduations for the kids? You know, I remember my graduations, they were big, you know, big family events. Relatives came in, parties. My high school graduation, we definitely had a big party. So, because, you know, we weren't always sure I was going to make it out of high school. I'm just going to tell you, that's a fact. Not only did I make it out of high school, but I did 10 more years of college, okay? So, hey, if you're a parent or a grandparent out there and you're worried, is my kid going to make it? You know what? They might. They just might, even if you have your doubts. And, of course, if you are a graduate, whether it's high school, college, whatever, congratulations. Well done, and wishing you the best with whatever you choose to do with your future. All right, my friends. Well, that's the Finish It Friday video for this week. Okay, until next time, my friends. Bye-bye for now. And yes, I will pause the video, turn on the light so you can see this beautiful flower for yourself.
Pause. Stop recording.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to
Double
do
tap to
this
activate.
video in two pieces. I did hit the pause button, and as long as I hit the pause button, I can go back and continue in the same video, but then I hit the stop recording, which means I have to do a separate piece, so I got to put it in the video editing app, put the pieces together. So here is the hat and the pageant. Look at that flower! How fun is that? Oh my gosh, she did a great job. The pattern designer on this did an amazing job. So you got your flower on the top, and then you got these chains on the side, right? You got your single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one. You got all that going on. And then on the side, you get this little spiral thing going on. And you get to the brim, and you get these little chain threes, I believe it is. Create these little spaces that you work into. And this is what hers looks like. You might be able to see hers better. Yeah, that's what hers looks like. I think hers is maybe white, or at least it's a lighter color. That I can tell might be pink or yellow or something. I don't honestly know. But you can see hers better. Okay, and then this is my tank top that I did also in the pageant. So we got the vertical columns, the lace, and then we've got the little lace. Look at that. This took some thinking through. This is the part that I had to do my little swatch on, was this lace section to get this little design to come out. And then these are just the vine lace straps that I did. And then I did the you can see that I did the 3 needle bind off on the inside. Alrighty, that's it for you. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening, and bye bye for now.